Okay, so today I am going to talk on the basic fundamental of the data structures that is known as array. So array is a very basic and fundamental of the data structures. And in any programming language, you study the data structures directly or indirectly used the array data structures. Every programming language. Similarly, Python not directly allow to work on this array data structure concept, but they provided inbuilt modules and library for us. Okay. So until we are not understand the basics of array data structure, it is very hard to say, hey, the basic of data structure is completed. So if you whatever the till now we have already learns the data structure like list, set, dictionary, or map, you can say tuples. Okay. So these are the good things. So the objective of today is that let's understand the basics of array, and we have to also learn how or which the way what are the way this array data structure fundamental of any data structures array are used in the Python. Okay, so let's talk basic about this array data structures. So array data structure in array is in a data structure. What is the array? Array is a data structure that's a store of collections of elements, each identified by its index or the key. So whenever we have a collections of element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4. Okay, so generally in a programming language, whenever we started to store any elements or item, we declare the variable, hold the value, variable, declare, hold the value, variable, declare, hold the value, and variable, declare, hold. So if we are going to store these four elements are the object are the items, so we are going to create multiple variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. So now array is a concept in the data structure. They allow you can now consider collections of element as a single variable. Okay? Single variable, that means uh, array are used to store multiple value in a single variable. You can create like marks. A student have a marks. A student have a five subject. Now subject marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, marks 4, marks 5. Okay, so each subject have a marks. So we can, instead of each subject, you are going to declare another variable for marks. Instead of, we can create one data structure that's hold the collections of elements. Okay, so arrays are useful when you want to store large amount of data of the same type. So this is first and most favorable way whenever you are going to store or manage and all the data are the same type, maybe integer, maybe float, maybe string, maybe boolean, any kind. That's a preferable way. Array is defined support you can store the collections of value of the same nature or same type, but that is the not mandatory in the Python. Okay, in other language as well. So we, because sometimes we are going to work and collections of objects or value that can be different nature. So is it array support? Yes. So array is the fundamental of the data structures that allow you can work on collections of your elements or value. So okay, so here you can store multiple values in a collections, or if you want you can retrieve, you can get them, you can modify them, even you want to add more, you can add. Okay, so these are the basics about the array. And ensure that whenever you are storing the collections of element in the array data structures, each element, each value are uniquely identified by its index. So array are going to store multiple value. Each value they are given an index. Index is just integer number, like this is the 0, this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4. So arrays are the whatever the value are stored, that the index value means each and every value you can retrieve, you can get from the index. So you can say array are indexed data structure. That means all the elements you are storing is considered as a indexed element. So these are the again. So array is a special variable or any kind of variable which can hold more than one value at a time. So generally, let us we are a list of cars are name. So we can declare car one name, Ford, car two name, car three name. So this is a good if we have a limited or a fixed number of you can say value or names you want to manage. So instead of creating car one variable, car two variable, car three variable, it's good for the smallest number of names. But what happen if you are going to not the three cars, we have a 300 cars or 3000 car. So really creating 300 variables are very tedious works. So in this situation, now instead of you are going to create a separate variable, we are use the inbuilt data structure. So this is the use case whenever you are going to manage, store, collect more than one values or object. So array data structure is the preferred choice. So the solution is here array. So array can hold many value under the single name. You can access the value by referring its index number. So array is the just like a placeholder where you are going to store multiple value 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 9. These are the multiple value you can store as a single variable name or number. Okay, and each value are index. That means this is the 0 position, 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4 position, 5 position. So array first elements start with the 0 index and last element start with the length minus 1. So what is the length? Length of the array is the number of elements that array can hold. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So length equal to 6. So 6 element can hold this array, and first element we can get from the index 0 and last element we can get from the length minus 1. If this is the length 6, the last element would be the sixth position. So array elements start with the 0 index and end with the length minus 1. Okay. So let's talk about the Python. If you talk on the Python, so note Python does not have a built-in support of array. So like other language, C language, Java language, other language, they allow the concept you can plain declare array and store value and retrieve value, manipulate value, sort value, whatever the operation you can do. But the Python is a language that there is no specific concept of primitive or built-in array support. So instead of that, whatever the array data structure concept, this concept is already implemented by Python as a list. So whenever you feel I am going to work on the array data structures, so good option in the Python you can use the list. List is the array implementation in the Python. Couple of things we're going to talk, but the basic, the primitive is the list. So we already know if you want to work on a Python array, so we can use the list. Okay, so list is the data structures that support Python, where you can use to store multiple value in the one variable, multiple value in the one variable, and each variable can be get from the index value. Okay, so how to create an array in Python? Let's just give the syntax of list. So we know the list start from this syntax and end with this system, and here you can put the value like Ford, Volvo, BMW, and this is the only one variable car now can hold not the one individual value but the collections of value. If you want to access the element, so you know this list is index, that means every elements are assigned with the unit. This is 0 index, 1 index and 2 index. So here if you want to access the element, you can say car and array of index. Okay, in 0 position, 1 position you can get the value. If you want to change the value something, you can say car 0 position, I want to change the new value. You want to append some more value here, more value here, okay, more value here, you can use the cards that append method. You want to remove, you want to remove them, that means you can use the pop. So just give the pop and value the position you want to remove, the here I want to remove. So the operation like access element, modify element, adding element, removing element. How to know the length of an array? You can use the length and your array variables. If you want to loop, print all the value, get the all the value, you can use the for loop, while loop. So all the operations which array support in a Python, we are use the list. So lists are used to implement array concept in the Python. Okay, the syntax, everything we already understand how list works. So in the Python, list are synonym of arrays. Okay, but array is a very basic concept in Python in the data structure. But we can use, if you want to use the array concept, all the programs you can use the list, and list have provide all the feature, creating, accessing, modifying, removing, listing, everything. Okay, so if you go to the Python, Python support the array in the different flavor. One we talked, you can use the list. List is most commonly used data structure in Python. They are denoted is the bracket. In this way, you can create the, and this is the order. Each elements are the have a specific index. Similarly, one more data structure you can use for the array like a tuples. Tuples is also like a will same as a similar like a list, but the difference is lists are the mutable and these tuples are immutable. Once you create it, generally we are not allowed to modify the contents, right? And the list can be started with this syntax, and tuple is started with a parenthesis. Parentheses are in the started. And apart from these two data structures, list and set, these are the two which you can use as a array concept. List is this, okay, tuples with the this syntax. But Python have also concept of library and modules. We're going to talk later. The Python has inbuilt modules. Module means the particular Python file that are provided by Python library itself for you. So the array, the basic data structures, concept and fundamentals are already provided by the some built-in module as well as. So you can use the array as a similar to the list, but with a different some different function and behavior. So if you want to really like arrays words, so you can use the arrays as a Python built-in library and method as well. Even there is a NumPy arrays. So this is a numerical Pythons. This is also library that provide the support of large multi-dimensional arrays, matrices, along with the large collections of high-level mathematical function to operate in this. So whenever we are going to talk, maybe are you are interested to learn machine learning, data scientist, whenever you are going to perform some mathematical operations are performed on a set of values. Those values are, you can use the array data. Array can be this is the one array that hold the some value, value 1, value 2. This is known as a single array. Okay, maybe multi-dimensional array. Now similarly you have another array. What happened? We have another array. Let's we have another array. So now we have a three variables of array. Okay, so you can say you can combine all these as a single array. Single array. This is known as a two-dimensional array. Okay, 2D array, 3D array, 4D array, array of array. So this is the array of array. So this is the zero position array, one position array, and this is the zero position. This is the one position. This is the two position. So all this concept of array data structures is provided by the third party, or you can say Python libraries. Library means they have already for a specific purpose they written all the functions, module, class, variable. You just use them. So for the machine learning data scientists, you can use this NumPy is the library for the numerical mathematical data science operations that work on the mathematical numbers, or you can use the element library. So lots of library you can very good part is that Pythons have a very rich set of library modules available. Just before going to solve your use case or business problem, let's explore the Python library and modules. So almost many use cases, the library already exists for you. You just use the library and complete your function. Due to this rich set of library, nowadays Python is the popular programming language choice for the data science, machine learning, LLM algorithms. So these are the by default choice. Why? Why favorable? Because these Python has a very rich set of library for the different use cases. You want to machine learning, data analytics, Python, general programming, high computation pattern matching, everything. So for each use cases, the Python have a very high list of library available. So you should think before going to write any fresh algorithms or any code or any use case. Let's explore the existing library. If this library have, let's use them. Okay. So these are the some basics characteristics of an array. So array is the order. That means elements in array have a specific index. Whatever you can create array, each array have a index value. Okay, index value, index 0, 1, 2, 3. Due to say that hey, this is the order collections of a value, or this is the index means each and every value are uniquely identified, or you can get or you can access with the help of index. Each element in an array can access using its index value. Okay, mutable, that means once you created array, the particular value, this value you can also change them. The array can be modified after its creation. Okay, but notice in the case of tuple, tuple is immutable data structure. And the good part, array is support the concept of homogeneous. That means the elements in the array, whatever you are going to the putting, this is no any fast and hard rule that you can only use the numbers or names or float or boolean. Even you can use the mix kind of string number, number float, string boolean float. So all the element of array must be same type except the list. Okay, so homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous, that means the all the element must be the same type. If the array of integer, this only hold the integer number. Array of string support the only string. Array of boolean only support the boolean. But you can also go the heterogeneous. That means array can be support flow, boolean, integer, float. Whenever we talk list data structure, you can just watch the video where list support mix kind of means value. So if your array contain the unique data types, similarly only one data types, then you can say array is the homogeneous array. If your array contain multiple types of value, float, string, name, integer, number, mixed value, then you can say heterogeneous array. Good example like list we already saw. And these are the operations or functions generally each and every array support. That means indexing, accessing element using the index. Means if you have already created array and this array hold multiple values, and you want to access a specific value, you must access from the index. You must know the index. Without index, you cannot get the element from an array. So if you don't know index, let's start from the 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Okay. Slicing, accessing subset element using the range of the slices. That means let's say this is an array, an array hold multiple value, and you want to only subset of only this array I want. Okay, only this is specific. So you can use the slicing, or maybe I want to dividing this array in the two part, only left part and right part I want, or left want or right want. So slicing means the permutation combinations, whatever the index you have, in this index I want to make a two sub array, just divide them. This is the left part, this is the right part, or you want to only specific this section. The slicing support both. Okay. And append, that means as a programmer sometime you created element of the particular 10 element you want to add append, so at the end of array you can append the method. Or insert, that means a specific position I am going to insert the value. Say, hey, I want to putting the value at the one position, the two position, or three position. This is also support. So you can add more value in the array. Have a two option. At the end you can append, right, value, or you can go say, hey, this is the 0 position, 1 position, this flows I want to new value. So this value you can place here, and all the remaining value are you can move to the behind one. So in this way you can adding the value. Repeat, you want to remove some element, hey, I want to remove this element. So be notice, whenever you are going to remove an array data structure, generally what we do, we have create the separate array of the less than 7. I want to remove this, remaining I will just copy here, and now you remove data. Okay, so there is a concept after removing the element from an array. And even the element of array you can apply the sorting, maybe ascending order, descending order. So these are some common operation: add, access, remove, delete, append, sort. All these operations array support, and we should aware, right? So these are the some couple of operations. Okay, you can use, like here you can say, hey, this is the my list, and you can use them. So here say, hey, numbers, nums, equal to, and this is a number you can say here 5 6 8 2. Okay, this is the array. Okay, and this is the you can create. You want to access the element, print, you can say number, and if I want to the two position value, so only the 0 1 2 two position value you can get the 2. Okay, you can get the 2, or you want to number of the 0 position, 0 position. Okay, you can get the value of this one. What happen, you pass the number of, let's keep 7. What happened, you got here index 0 1 2 3, but you want to 7. What happened, surely compiler is very very unhappy. Hey, list index out of bound. So be ensure that whenever you are going to accessing any element, okay, from an array data structures, okay, you can only access the index from 0 till length minus 1. You want to try to access the element here or try to access element here, it will be thrown exception. List is the very sophisticated data structure. You can only get the access element within the 0 index till the length minus 1. How to know it's the length? So if you want to know the length, you cannot use this. So you can say print, you can say length equal to, here you can say len function and it's by minute. So in this way you can get the length is 4. That means you can from 0 to till 3, or even if you try to 4, it will not happen. If you say print number, here say let's I can say a length equal to this variable len now, and here you can say 1 to, okay, and here you can say number, I want length. So even this length is, say, hey, length is index out of bound. So you can say length minus 1 till it works, because start from a 0 till length minus 1 it works. You can say and number of 0. So please ensure that whenever you are trying to access element, you start from the 0 and the last element in this index minus 1. Okay, so in this way you can create the index, access the element, get the length element. Let's say you want to change the value of this. So this is the 0 1 2. So here say, hey, I want to number position 2, I want to change the value 22. Okay, and if you print, okay, print even the whole number you can print. By default print functions print everything. Okay, okay, so notice before is the 2 and now become 22. So you can modify the any element. Okay, even you can say, hey, I want to num dot pop. Okay, and you can say I want to pop the element 1. Okay, and after that you notice it will 0 1 position data are removed. Yeah, you want to remove the 22, so you can say, hey, num dot remove and day 22. Okay, this 22 is the removed. Okay, so these are the operation remove, list, or for everything. So let's say you want to uh, print all the numbers. Okay, okay, so here say For loop, you can say number in num collection colon, and here you can say print a num. So one by one number you can get every number. Okay, and you want to maybe multiply, division, index, whatever you want, you can perform here. Okay, so these are the you can create the list, or similarly you can use the tuple. So only syntax, this is the syntax of the list, and this is the syntax of your tuples. List is the mutable, you can modify, delete the element, but tuples are immutable, generally avoid to modify the value once it's created. And similarly, now you can do using the creating an array using the array module. So this is the way first things, whenever you are going to use any other module or library, the your program, you have to tell Python, hey Python interpreter, I am going to use the new library or new modules or new something. So we have to use the command import, and here say, hey, I want to using this array module, and array have a function array, and this is specify, this is the two value I am going to the put my array. So here say, let's say I am going to say import array. So this is the array data import. Now you can create the my array equal to, now your this is the module dot, they have defined the array is the syntax where you can put the constructor and pass the, let's key, I want to pass value I, or I want to pass some value maybe 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 7, whatever the value are. So in this way you can use the array modules to access. Now you have created, you want to check the length, you want to check the length, this will be length is the 4, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so here you can specify type, I for integer, float, double, whatever you want. So here in this way you can specify. And even if you want to use the different library like NumPy you want to use, the similarly import NumPy as well. So here say import num, okay, NumPy. So we have to import, first we have to include the dependency here, then we can use the library. So modules are by default provided by the Python interpreter, but you want to include the any third party library, you have to include in the path, and after that you can use this command. Similarly you can create the your variable in any case. So the scenario, the use case where the array data structures are very useful, right? So one things, whenever you are going to do the data analysis, like array are useful when you are working with a large data set, and such as a data analytics, scientific computing, or data science. So in this scenario, the primitive array data structures, array concept is very useful, you can say. Okay, and third, you want to develop some game development. So array is useful when working with the game development, such as a sorting game state, player position, object position, game positions. Okay, so this scenario, your array data structures are very, even the you are doing the any kind of web developments are useful to working with the web development, such as you want to sorting the user data, you want to storing the session data, request data. So array are, you can say, mostly used collections. Some programming language say collections, some is the array, some is the data structure. Overall concept, you are going to work on collections of value data elements. Okay, so these are the some points, and if you want to get the more details of this, surely you can check out this array data structure tutorial or array module itself, whatever the array modules and all the details, what the types you can specify here, like you can specify I for the signed integer, for unsigned integer. Whenever you can define the array, so by default the concept of array is the homogeneous. That means you can tell our array can store only integer or signed integer or unsigned integer, float, double float. In this way you can specify. Okay, but in the list we discussed, they can support heterogeneous. We will not specify the type. Depend upon the value you can check. So here, if you use in the array modules, you have to specify the types, which are types of a float, double, string, character, right? And according there's lots of yeah, here the details mention. If you want to append method, you want to count, you want to extend, lots of functions, pop, remove, clear, reverse, to byte, to file, to list, if you want to convert to the list. So these are the example given, and you can just explore this, the concept of your array data structure. Okay, so that is the about the basic data structures array. Okay, so please be do some practice to work on the array. So simple, array is work when you want to the collections of values, multiple values you have. Okay, you have a multiple values for. So instead of creating multiple variable to hold them, you can create just collections of the values, and this collections of value known as a your array, and these value are indexed. These value are indexed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now you can access value using the symbol array, and you can specify the 3. So you can get the value of this. If you want to modify the value array position 2, I want to change the new value. Okay, you are place here. So index start from the 0 and last index would be your length minus 1. Okay, why length is the number of element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your 6 is the length of an array, and the last element would be the 5, 6 minus 1, and first element would be the 0. And array can be mutable, modify. Okay, so these are the operations you can perform. Okay, so let's do some practice. If and that once you some write the code, understand the concept, it will make you feel more comfortable. So that is for basics about the array data structures. Thank you.